What if everything you've been told about national bankruptcy? It's only half the truth. You hear about governments running out of money, economies on the brink, and countries collapsing under their own debt. But here's the mystery no one explains. If nations can go broke, why does the global financial system always come out richer? How can the world suffer repeated economic disasters, yet the same institutions grow more powerful every single time? The answer reveals a hidden mechanism, one that thrives not when countries prosper, but when they fail. Setting the stage 1 o'clock to understand how this works, we need to go back to the beginning. For centuries, nations borrowed money from wealthy families, empires, or banks. But after the World Wars, a new financial architecture emerged, one that reshaped global power forever. Institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank were created to stabilize nations in crisis. But their loans came with strings attached, conditions that rewired entire economies. Meanwhile, major financial hubs, New York, London, Tokyo, built markets for sovereign bonds. Suddenly, a country's survival depended not on its resources, but on the confidence of global investors. This was the twist. National debt was no longer just finance, it became leverage. Origins -145, the beginning of the debt cycle in the mid-20th century. Developing nations borrowed heavily to modernize. Loans were easy. Money was cheap. Growth seemed guaranteed. But the oil crises of the 1970s changed everything. Interest rates skyrocketed. Countries couldn't pay back what they owed. And for the first time, entire regions, Latin America, Africa, parts of Asia, fell into debt traps. Nations went broke. The system didn't. The rise to 20 turning crisis into profit during the 1980s and 1990s. Something remarkable happened. As countries defaulted, banks, funds, and global institutions found ways to profit from the instability. Higher interest rates for risky nations. New loans to refinance old ones. Privatization deals, structural adjustment programs. In other words, the worse the crisis, the more tools the system had to make money. This wasn't failure, it was business. Breaking point 255, the modern debt explosions. Fast forward to the 2008 financial crisis, the Eurozone meltdown, and the recent economic shocks around the world. Greece went broke. Lebanon collapsed. Sri Lanka ran out of fuel and food. Argentina defaulted again. And each time, the pattern holds. Governments suffer, citizens lose savings, services collapse, austerity is imposed, yet global markets recover. Creditors get repaid, and institutions walk away stronger. Fallout and failed fixes, 335, the painful irony. Every solution reinforces the cycle. Bailouts create more debt. Reforms often shrink economies. New loans replace old ones. Nations become more dependent than before. The system doesn't want countries to collapse completely. It needs them to stay just functional enough to keep paying. Modern parallels, 4 o'clock. Today, global debt has reached over $300 trillion. More nations are on the edge than at any point in modern history. And yet global markets, banks, and investment firms report record profits. The pattern is unmistakable. When countries break, the system bends, but it never breaks with them. Takeaways 425-1. Nations go broke, but the financial system is designed to survive their failure because it profits from restructuring, not stability. 2. Debt is no longer just an obligation. It's a tool of global influence. It shapes policies, governments, and entire societies. 3. Crises strengthen the system rather than weaken it. Every collapse consolidates power at the top. Closing warning for 50. The question isn't why nations go broke. The question is how long the world can sustain a system that grows stronger every time it pushes another country over the edge. Call to action, 5 o'clock, if you want more deep dives into the hidden mechanics of global finance. Hit like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who thinks countries just run out of money. It's time more people understood the system behind the headlines. If you'd like, I can also create a viral title, description, hashtags, thumbnail text, and Facebook version for this video.